The grand arena was filled with bright lights and alien creatures from across the galaxy. They laughed and jeered, their voices echoing through the vast space. At the center of this chaotic scene stood a towering figure, the warlord of the Xylac Empire. With his shimmering armor and sharp fangs, he looked down on Earth's delegation with disdain. This was a place where the strongest ruled, and he made it clear that Earth was not welcome. "Look at these puny humans!" he bellowed, his voice booming like thunder. The crowd erupted in laughter, their mocking eyes fixed on Captain Alex Rivers and his small team of human soldiers. They had come to represent Earth at the Intergalactic Council, hoping to prove that humanity was more than just a joke. But all they found was ridicule. Alex stood tall among his companions, his heart pounding with a mix of anger and determination. He had trained hard for this moment. As a skilled soldier with years of combat experience, he refused to let his planet's reputation be tarnished by the scorn of these alien races. With short brown hair and sharp blue eyes, he looked like a warrior ready for battle, even in this sea of hostility. "Do you really think humans are a threat?" The warlord sneered, gesturing to the crowd. "I challenge you to prove your worth. Send a team to Deathworld, and if you survive, I will admit that you are not weak. But if you fail, you will be laughed at forever." A hush fell over the audience as they awaited Alex's response. He felt the weight of their gazes upon him, each one dripping with disbelief. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward, feeling the adrenaline surge through him. "We accept your challenge," he declared, his voice steady and strong. The laughter died down, replaced by murmurs of surprise and curiosity. The warlord's eyes narrowed, and a sly smile crept across his face. "Very well, but don't be foolish. Deathworld is not a place for the weak. You will face creatures more fearsome than you can imagine." His words were meant to intimidate, but Alex felt a spark of hope igniting within him. This was their chance to show the galaxy what humans could really do. After the warlord's proclamation, Alex gathered his team. They were a mix of individuals, each with their own unique skills. There was Sarah, a tech genius who could hack any system. Her bright red hair and sharp wit made her a valuable asset. Next was Marcus, a martial artist known for his speed and agility. He had a cool demeanor, but Alex knew he was fierce in combat. Finally, there was Linda, a former engineer who had worked on advanced weaponry. With her creativity and resourcefulness, she could turn the tide in any battle. "Listen up, everyone," Alex said, looking at each team member. "We have one goal: to survive on Deathworld and prove to them that humanity is not to be underestimated. We may be outnumbered and outmatched, but we have something they don't: heart." The team nodded, determination shining in their eyes. They were ready for the challenge ahead. But first, they needed to prepare. As they left the arena, the laughter of the aliens still echoed in their ears. It served as a reminder of the doubts stacked against them. But Alex was more than determined. He was fueled by a desire to protect his planet's honor. In the days that followed, the team trained rigorously. They studied the technology they would take with them, including cloaking devices that would help them avoid detection and advanced weapons designed for alien combat. Sarah spent countless hours running simulations, preparing for the unpredictable dangers they would face. The night before their departure, they gathered around a small campfire, sharing stories and fears. "What if we don't come back?" Linda asked, her voice trembling slightly. Alex looked at her, feeling the weight of her words. "We will come back. Not just for ourselves, but for Earth. For everyone who has been laughed at. We will show them our strength." With that, the team shared a laugh, easing the tension. They understood the risks, but they also knew they were fighting for something greater than themselves. As dawn broke, they set out for Deathworld, their hearts pounding with anticipation and fear. They had a long journey ahead, but they were ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. This was their moment to change everything. They would no longer be the butt of the joke. This was the beginning of their fight for respect, and they were ready to make their mark on the galaxy. As the team's ship approached Deathworld, the atmosphere outside turned darker, filled with swirling clouds and flashes of lightning. The planet loomed large, a menacing ball of danger. Alex's heart raced with excitement and fear. This was it, the moment they had trained for. They were about to step into a world that had claimed the lives of many before them. "Prepare for landing!" Alex shouted, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. The ship shook as it descended, finally touching down on a rocky surface. The door hissed open, revealing a harsh landscape of jagged rocks and strange, twisted trees that seemed to writhe and move. It looked like a nightmare. "Stay alert, everyone," Sarah said, adjusting her gear. "We don't know what's out there." They stepped out into the wild terrain, the air thick with an unfamiliar smell. A chill ran down Alex's spine as he scanned the area. The sounds of distant roars echoed in the air, reminding them of the danger that lurked nearby. The team gathered close, ready for anything. Suddenly, a low growl rumbled from behind a nearby rock formation. Before they could react, a massive creature lunged at them. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, tall, with sharp teeth and glowing red eyes. The creature charged, ready to attack. "Get back!" Alex yelled, drawing his weapon. The team sprang into action, instinct kicking in as they took positions around the beast. Marcus, agile and quick, moved to the side, distracting the creature with loud shouts and sudden movements. Sarah activated the cloaking device, making them nearly invisible. "I'll try to hack into its systems to find out what we're dealing with," she shouted, her fingers flying over the control panel in her suit. The creature paused, confused by the sudden shift in its environment. "Now!" Alex commanded, and they launched their attack. Linda aimed her weapon and fired, hitting the creature right in the shoulder. It howled in pain, staggering back, but it didn't give up. The team pressed on, their adrenaline fueling their every move. In the heat of battle, Alex noticed a strange flickering in the creature's eyes. It was more than just an animal, it was intelligent. "It's not just a beast! It has a mind!" he shouted. With this realization, the team adjusted their tactics. They needed to outsmart the creature instead of overpowering it. "Sarah, can you communicate with it?" Alex asked. She nodded, quickly typing commands into her device. A moment later, she projected a holographic image of a calming landscape, trying to soothe the creature's aggressive instincts. To their surprise, the beast paused, its growls turning into a low whimper. The flickering in its eyes softened as it watched the hologram. The team took this opportunity to retreat slowly, carefully avoiding sudden movements. "We need to find shelter," Alex said, glancing around for a safe place. They spotted a cave in the distance, partly hidden by thick vines. "Let's go!" They hurried to the cave, heart rates still racing. Inside, it was dark and damp, but they felt safe for the moment. The cave walls glowed faintly, revealing strange markings that looked like ancient writings. "What do you think it means?" Linda wondered aloud, tracing her fingers along the symbols. "It could be a warning," Sarah replied, scanning the markings with her device. "Or maybe a history of this planet? We'll need to study it later." As they caught their breath, Alex couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. "We need to stay vigilant," he said. "This is just the beginning. Deathworld is testing us, and we can't let our guard down." The team nodded, their resolve hardening. They were here to prove themselves, not just to the alien races, but to themselves. They would show that humanity could survive against all odds, and they would uncover the secrets of Deathworld, no matter how dangerous it was. As night fell, strange sounds echoed from outside the cave, reminding them that they were far from safe, but in that moment of uncertainty, they felt a bond forming, stronger than ever. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. They were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting to change the way the galaxy saw them. And this was only the beginning of their incredible journey. As the sun rose over Deathworld, the team awoke to the sounds of strange creatures echoing in the distance. The air felt heavy, filled with tension and uncertainty. Alex opened his eyes, taking a moment to remember where they were. They had made it through the first night, but the real challenges lay ahead. "Everyone get ready," he called out softly. "We need to scout the area and find food and water. We can't rely on our supplies for too long." The team gathered their gear, their faces determined. They were ready to face whatever this dangerous world threw at them. After a quick breakfast, they stepped out of the cave and into the bright, harsh sunlight. The landscape was even more intimidating in the daylight. Towering rock formations loomed around them, and the ground was dotted with strange plants that seemed to writhe as if they were alive. Alex felt a shiver run down his spine, but pushed it aside. They had a mission. As they ventured further, they encountered a series of obstacles. First, they faced a field of thick, thorny vines that seemed to stretch endlessly. "We'll need to find a way through this," Linda said, examining the plants. She carefully pulled a vine to the side, revealing a narrow path. "Follow me, but be cautious. These thorns look sharp." They moved slowly, navigating the treacherous terrain. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed through the air, and the ground shook beneath their feet. Alex's heart raced. "We need to move," he shouted, urging the team forward. Just as they escaped the vines, a massive creature charged from behind the rocks, its eyes filled with fury. "Run!" Marcus yelled, sprinting ahead. The team raced through the narrow path, dodging branches and leaping over rocks as the creature chased them. It was terrifying, but adrenaline fueled their escape. They finally reached a small cliff that overlooked a wide valley. Breathing heavily, they paused to catch their breath. "What was that thing?" Sarah gasped, looking back. "I've never seen anything like it." "Neither have I," Alex replied, scanning the valley below. "But we need to keep moving. We can't stay in one place for too long." As they descended into the valley, they came across a small stream of water, sparkling in the sunlight. "Finally, something good!" Linda exclaimed, rushing to fill their canteens. They drank deeply, refreshing themselves after their frantic escape. But even in this moment of relief, Alex felt a nagging sense of danger lurking nearby. Once they had replenished their supplies, they continued exploring the valley. As they moved deeper, they stumbled upon a group of strange, colorful plants. "These look edible," Sarah said, inspecting them closely. "Let's try some!" After a cautious taste, they discovered the plants were sweet and filled with nutrients. They quickly gathered as much as they could carry, knowing that food would be vital for their survival. But just as they were feeling hopeful, they heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. "Everyone, get ready!" Alex warned, gripping his weapon tightly. The rustling grew louder, and suddenly a pack of smaller creatures emerged. They were fast and agile, their eyes glowing with hunger. "Defensive positions!" Alex shouted. The team quickly formed a circle, facing outward. The creatures lunged at them, snapping their jaws. The team fought back, using everything they had learned so far. Linda swung her weapon, taking down the first creature with a swift blow. Marcus dodged and struck another, his training in martial arts proving valuable. Sarah used her tech to set up a temporary barrier, giving them a moment to regroup. "Keep it together!" Alex shouted, motivating his team. "We can't let them overwhelm us!" The battle was fierce but brief. One by one, the creatures fell, and the team emerged victorious, panting and covered in dirt and sweat. They had faced their first real test of survival and had come out on top. As they caught their breath, Alex looked at his team, pride swelling in his chest. "We did it! We're getting stronger, and we're learning how to fight together." But he also knew that Deathworld was unforgiving. "Let's keep moving. We need to find a safe place to rest and plan our next steps. This planet has more challenges ahead." The team nodded in agreement, their spirits lifted. They had survived their first battle, and together they felt invincible. But Alex couldn't shake the feeling that Deathworld was watching them, waiting for its next opportunity to strike. They would need to stay sharp and rely on one another if they hoped to survive. With renewed determination, they pressed on into the unknown, ready to face whatever lay ahead on their journey. Each step brought them closer to understanding the true nature of this hostile world, and they were ready to uncover its secrets. After days of battling the dangers of Deathworld, Alex and his team found themselves at the edge of a vast canyon. The air was thick with tension as they stared down into the depths, where dark shadows moved and strange sounds echoed. It felt like the heart of Deathworld, a place where the toughest creatures lived and where their greatest challenge awaited. "Are you sure we should go down there?" Marcus asked, glancing nervously at the dark abyss. The team had faced many dangers already, but this felt different. It was a place of unknown horrors. "We have to," Alex replied, determination shining in his eyes. "We've come this far and we can't turn back now. We need to find the source of those sounds we've been hearing. It could lead us to the heart of this world." Sarah checked her equipment, her hands shaking slightly. "I'll activate the cloaking device. If there are creatures down there, we'll need every advantage we can get." With a deep breath, the team began their descent, carefully navigating the steep rocks. As they reached the bottom, they were greeted by an eerie silence, broken only by the distant echoes of growls. The ground was covered in a thick mist, making it hard to see, but Alex could feel the weight of something watching them from the shadows. Suddenly, a loud roar shattered the silence, echoing through the canyon. A massive creature emerged from the fog, its scales glinting in the dim light. It was larger than anything they had faced before, with sharp claws and eyes that glowed like fire. The team froze, terror gripping their hearts. "Everyone stay close!" Alex shouted, his voice cutting through the fear. They needed to work together to survive this encounter. The creature sniffed the air, its gaze locking onto them. It let out another terrifying roar, charging at the group with frightening speed. "Split up!" Sarah yelled. "Distract it while I try to get a read on its weak points." The team scattered, each one doing their best to draw the creature's attention away from the others. Marcus leaped onto a nearby rock, throwing stones to create noise. Linda rushed forward, brandishing her weapon. "Hey, ugly! Over here!" she taunted, trying to lead the beast away. Alex watched as the creature swung its massive tail, smashing through the rocks with ease. He could see how powerful it was, but they had trained for this moment. They had to remain focused. "Now!" he shouted, signaling for Sarah to act. With a quick motion, Sarah activated her device, projecting a hologram of a smaller creature on the opposite side. The massive beast turned its attention, confused by the sudden image. "It's working!" Sarah cried out. Taking advantage of the distraction, Alex and Marcus rushed in. They worked together, using their agility and training to dodge the creature's attacks. Alex found an opening and struck the creature's leg, hoping to slow it down. But the beast roared in pain and anger, turning its fury back on Alex. "Get down!" Marcus shouted, pushing Alex out of the way just in time. The creature's claw grazed Marcus's arm, leaving a deep scratch. He winced but kept fighting, his determination shining through the pain. "Focus!" Alex urged, rallying his team. "We can't give up now! We need to find a way to bring it down." They needed a plan, and fast. Sarah scanned the area and spotted a large boulder above the creature. "If we can lure it underneath that rock, I can drop it on it," she shouted, excitement bubbling in her voice. "Great idea!" Alex agreed, his mind racing. "Let's do it!" The team quickly regrouped, and with a mix of strategy and instinct, they began to lead the creature toward the boulder. It was a risky move, but they had no other choice. They shouted and threw stones, drawing the beast's attention away from the impending danger. As it followed them, Alex could feel the ground shake beneath its weight. "Now!" he yelled as they reached the right spot. Sarah activated her device, triggering the boulder to roll down. With a loud crash, the rock landed on the creature, stunning it. The team cheered, feeling a rush of victory. But they knew this was only a temporary triumph. The creature roared in anger, thrashing beneath the boulder. "Let's finish this!" Alex shouted. They charged forward, working together to strike at the creature's vulnerable spots. Linda fired her weapon, hitting it with precision, while Marcus used his speed to dodge its flailing limbs. In a final, desperate move, Alex climbed onto the boulder. "I'm going in!" he shouted, plunging his weapon into the creature's side. With one last roar, the beast collapsed, defeated. Breathing heavily, the team stood over the fallen creature, a mix of relief and triumph washing over them. They had faced their greatest challenge and survived. "This is just the beginning," Alex said, looking at his team with pride. "We've proven ourselves here, but there's still so much more to uncover about Deathworld. Let's keep pushing forward!" With renewed determination, they set off into the heart of the canyon, ready to face whatever awaited them next. Together, they had faced their fears and emerged victorious, and now they were more united than ever. After their fierce battle with the massive creature, Alex and his team made their way out of the canyon, filled with a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. They had faced the greatest danger of Deathworld and emerged victorious. However, they knew their journey was far from over. The mission was not just about survival, it was about proving Earth's strength to the Galactic Council. As they traveled back to their ship, the team discussed their next steps. "We have to show the Council what we've learned," Linda said, her eyes shining with excitement. "We can't let them see us as weak anymore." "Exactly," Alex replied, nodding in agreement. "We've proven that humans can face any challenge. It's time to change their minds about us." Once they reached their ship, they quickly prepared for the journey back. They checked their equipment and ensured everything was in order. The ship hummed to life as Alex took the controls. The team strapped in, their hearts racing with anticipation. As the ship soared through the stars, the vastness of space stretched out before them. Alex felt a sense of pride wash over him. They had come so far, facing their fears and overcoming incredible odds. "We're going to show them what humanity is capable of," he said, determination filling his voice. When they finally arrived at the Galactic Council's headquarters, the atmosphere was tense. The grand structure loomed in front of them, filled with representatives from various alien species. Each one had their own opinion about Earth, and many viewed humanity with skepticism. As they stepped off the ship, Alex could feel the weight of the moment. They walked into the council chamber where a crowd of delegates waited. The room was filled with murmurs, and the air crackled with anticipation. The council leader, a tall figure with shimmering blue skin and large, expressive eyes, stepped forward. "Earth Team, we welcome you back. You have faced Deathworld and returned. What do you have to say for your kind?" Alex took a deep breath. This was their chance to change everything. "We faced incredible dangers on Deathworld," he began, his voice steady. "But we didn't back down. We fought together, learned from our mistakes, and proved that humans can be strong and resilient. We are not just a weak species. We are capable of great things." The room fell silent as the delegates listened. Sarah stepped forward, her face serious. "We found advanced technology, learned to work as a team, and confronted our fears. We survived against all odds, and we want to share our knowledge with the Council. Together we can face any threat to the galaxy." The Council members exchanged glances, their expressions thoughtful. "But what proof do you have?" one delegate asked, his voice skeptical. Alex nodded, prepared for this question. "We have footage from our mission. You will see how we overcame the dangers of Deathworld, how we fought together, and how we emerged stronger. We want to collaborate, to share technology, and protect our galaxy together." The council leader gestured for them to present their evidence. Alex felt a wave of hope as they activated their ship's screen. The footage displayed their journey, the breathtaking landscapes of Deathworld, their battles with dangerous creatures, and the bond they formed as a team. As the delegates watched, the tension in the room shifted. Gasps filled the air as they witnessed the courage and skill of the human team. When the presentation ended, the room erupted into discussions, the council members animated and engaged. Finally, the council leader stood again, addressing the room. "You have shown us what it means to be brave. Your journey has proven that humanity is not to be underestimated. We commend you for your efforts and courage." Cheers erupted from the representatives. Alex and his team exchanged relieved glances, their hearts swelling with pride. They had done it! They had changed perceptions and earned the respect of the Galactic Council. "We propose a partnership," the council leader continued, a smile on their face. "Let us work together to protect the galaxy from future threats. Together, we can face whatever comes our way." As the applause filled the room, Alex felt a sense of fulfillment. They had transformed their struggle into something meaningful, not just for themselves, but for all of humanity. In that moment, Alex realized that their journey had just begun. With newfound allies and respect from the Council, they were ready to face whatever challenges awaited them in the galaxy. Together, they would forge a path of unity, strength, and resilience, proving once and for all that humanity was not to be laughed at, but to be celebrated.